What's up, you guys? Let's take back with the last chance. Spring Major. Let's go, everyone! Spring Major! Oh. Let's go!
People around the world, welcome to day one of the Spring Major, coming to you live from Boston here in Massachusetts. We got an empty arena today. It's going to be anything but that for the next 3 days, as we're going to be playing 4 excellent days of Rocket League action. I'm Wayfuck, I got a Bates, I got a Gibbs, I got a Cole on the end.
Hi.
These two will be with me the whole time. Cole, you're here just now.
You're getting rid of me after this.
After
well, I
this,
thought I'd be with you all along.
Nope,
well,
for you.
I'll enjoy your beautiful faces while I'm here, and I'll enjoy the Rocket League as well. It's going to be fantastic.
How'd you enjoy the baseball yesterday?
Loved it. Do you know what? Everyone's always told me it's too slow. No, I think the pacing was about right. Nothing on Rocket League, obviously.
For sure.
But, you know, I'm not a baseball main, but it's like my second behind Rocket League.
It was really special to get to watch you enjoy that game.
Yeah.
Gibbs, we're finally back on your side of the continent here. How are you excited for this?
Yeah, Northeast. We're here the first time since Prudential Center season 7.
Jersey.
So it's been a while, and this major is going to be fantastic because we saw throughout this entire split, every region was doing historic stuff. NA was fighting Mina and Sam to the very last regional. We had Europe with a weightlifting team doing amazing as well. So history was being made everywhere. So I expect the same here.
We got a lot of history being made here, Bates. I mean, we have more Brazilian players here than any other nationality for the first time ever.
Hey, that's big shout out to Brazil. Big shout out to all them, all the teams that have come over to NA, taking all the North American spots. They've earned it though. Inferior complexity, of course. You got Crew and NIP. That wraps up all the Brazilians. 9 of them to NA's total of 7, I believe, and 8 Europeans, Gibbs?
8 from France.
Oh, 8 from France. My bad.
Europe is more than France, believe it or not. Just about.
I mean, the way y'all talk about it, it's just all French.
Yeah.
Well, we got some new faces too. Rule 1 coming in from Mina, which is fantastic. And also in North America, it's a little bit of an odd thing. There's no G2 or phase for the very first time.
Just so many things changing here. You mentioned Rule 1, folks. We'll get to see them face off against Crew to kick things off here at 27 minutes. You can see it counting down there in the top left. Here's what they're playing for. So many points on the line, as well as $100,000 for first. But hey, you make at least 3K just for showing up and losing 6 games here, Bates.
Hey, at least 3K, I could take that. I think we all
to play here in Boston.
It's the final countdown of the season's farewell split. 114 teams worldwide competed in spring regionals to try and make the major. 16 teams succeeded. Here's how each and every one made it to Boston, young Rlcs in here.
5th seeds. Gen G in 5th seed. It sounds unbelievable, but it was even more intense than that.
The British are coming, and they're bringing the young Prince Chronic to Boston!
Gen G needed favors from their fellow Americans Optic in knocking out FaZe Clan and then G2 to even get that tiebreaker. But once there, they finally looked like their full major winning selves. One man remains from the legendary Rise, Joy over Tira major winning trio. And if you're to believe his pre-split Twitter blues, Joyo is not the one fans would have wanted to stay. What? Thankfully, lovely Joyo is better than even he realises, reaching Europe's top 5 alongside land debutant Juicy and fellow Englishman Cash, famously the second most mechanical ginger in Rocket League behind, well, yours truly. He was last seen on the big stage rapping Quadrant at Rotterdam's full major.
4th seeds. Top 4 at the Winter Major and winning the Spring Open should have springboarded Complexity to a nerveless run to Boston, but one dodgy result threw all of that hard work up in the air.
Love it! He's all on himself again! He's doing it! He's done it!
NRG do what nobody thought was possible. They take down Complexity in dramatic fashion.
North America was so wide open that going into the Invitational, all 5 land spots were up for grabs. Thankfully for Complexity, a top 8 securing win against version 1 was enough to bring them to Boston at the expense of the All-American Super Team.
What a recovery from Complexity!
A similar tale here for Liquid. Top 4 at the Winter Major.
Liquid flow like water to the semifinals!
Second in the Spring Open.
Huge fake blow of that zone. Guess who? Team Liquid. See you in the grand finals.
And then a middling Spring Cup and Invitational. A chronic lack of form won't worry him too much, so expect to ski a fresh start going into their 4th RLCS Major in a tow.
Third seeds. Optic became the undisputed darlings of the Spring Invitational when 3-0 down against FaZe Clan. Lose this, FaZe go to Boston. Optic probably stay home.
Numbers advantage. Mist has to get around Reynolds. He can't. And AJ scores. Open net. Now nobody's back. Magic there. Cherry picker. And we're going to game 7. Reynolds will close out. AJ ahead. Can Mist catch up? No, he can't. First killer was not too strong. Reynolds will spike it. And Optic Gaming completes the 3rd North American reverse sweep.
NA's 3rd best-of-7 reverse sweep ever has allowed Magic Bear to finally compete at his first LAN. And also congrats to AJ for reverse sweeping the team that dropped him in the off-season. Oh, and Rlcs for leading his team to a huge result after being written off countless times. Safe to say, Optic deserve a lot of support in Massachusetts. Carmine Corp finishes 3rd seed by... Wait a sec. Carmine Corp finished as 3rd seed? Yeah, that's what happens when you have the audacity to finish 4th, 2nd, and 4th in a massively improved EU. KC haven't got worse. The rest of the regions just got better. But any Blue Wall members behind North American enemy lines will still expect a decent effort at keeping hold of their winter crown.
Second seeds. Furia were this close to their North American move being deemed a failure after missing the first 2 majors of the season. What a difference a well-timed heroic upswing can make.
Fury on the move!
No one might be it. It lost. That could be the final dagger.
Suddenly, Furia are the terrifying Brazilians of old. Even cooler than that, Lost becomes the first player in RLCS history to win a regional in 2 regions in the same season. Meanwhile, Team BDS were this close to their post-Worlds winning season being deemed a failure after missing the first 2 majors of the season. What a difference a well-timed roster move can make. Rise, Agent of Chaos, has made all 3 majors this season with 3 different teams. And we all know what happened last time Monkey Moon and Seiko competed at an RLCS LAN. Astromech struggled at the start of last split after moving on from the club, but victory in the Winter Invitational, when LAN qualification was already beyond them, showed Ninjas in Pyjamas' potential.
NIP are back!
That momentum grew exponentially this split, as victory in the Spring Cup meant that all Ninjas in Pyjamas had to do was hold their nerve in the Invitational to book their flight to Boston. After running well at the Fall Major, Amphis, Torsos and Fever were, well, disappointing in Winter, as for the first time in Torsos' long career, they weren't even part of the OCE LAN qualification conversation. A lesser team would have folded, but Power went back to the drawing board, figured out what was wrong, and smashed their way back to the world stage.
First seeds. Congrats to Crew, who not only qualify as South America's first seed, but avoid a nerve-jangling tiebreaker for the first time this season. Their spring results? First, second, first. We would say GG easy, but considering their 2 victories both went to Game 7, and one needed the only successful bracket reset anywhere out of the 114 teams who competed to be here, it was probs a little trickier than it appears at first glance. The goated James Cheese branding may be no more, but Virtuoso, Kami and Realize are back as Elevate after missing the Winter Major. Wins in the Spring Open and Cup may have suggested they were pulling away once more from the rest of their region, but despite resetting the bracket against those pesky gladiators in the Spring Invitational, they couldn't quite get the regional Grand Slam.
To deny the opportunity, LCT to OSM, the best player of last split, and the way it goes!
Not sure about you guys, but Arsenal becoming one of the top performers in North America was not on my pre-spring split bingo card. In the era of so-called super teams, the seasoned vet proved us wrong.
Charged with a demo. Oh, but another physical play, okay.
If anything, Daniel's pre-spring departure unlocked the other's potential, as LJ was insane.
LJ, control the ball! LJ, control!
And Hoxer makes his first RLCS LAN since lining up for EU United in Season 8, setting a record-breaking 1,301 days. That's 6 entire events between RLCS LAN appearances. Credit to new coach Sad Jr., as this is clearly a team reinvigorated. Finally, Rule 1 will have their moment. 2 wins and a 3rd place finish were enough to ensure the infamous 1v1 gods dubbed the Twins, I think because they get all twins, will make their RLCS major debuts. If anyone can top goals like this, we will be very pleasantly surprised. Except, oh wait, there's one guy who eats goals like those for breakfast. Meet Sen.
Still up. Zen's still up. Oh my goodness, Sen!
Who first would be found out in 1v1.
He can't be affording to concede again. Oh, and he has! It's a turtle catch shot from Zen.
And then wouldn't perform in the RLCS.
Zen just sends it long. That net is open. That is the 3rd for Vitality.
And now, maybe, won't perform on LAN? Let's be honest, I don't think anyone expects anything but magic from this young Frenchman, who in his first 3 RLCS regionals tasted victory on all 3 occasions. Alongside him, Alpha and Radosin stepped up their game even more, and Vitality looked to have a devastating sting in their tail.
But who knows? LANs can do weird things to teams and people. The only way to find out is to sit back, grab some snacks, and drink in the final RLCS major before the World Championships.
16 teams from across the globe, each one with their own story. We'll get to touch on all of those stories you just saw a little bit as we get into those teams and get to see them compete here on the stage. But the Spring Major, you saw, there was competition all over the place. There was goals all over the place. We saw a bunch of them kind of for moments here and there in that top highlight there, but I want to see the top plays of the Spring Split, and there's only one man for the job. El Hombre de Espacio, Spaceman, how you doing?
Oh, welcome to Boston, you handsome folks. How you doing over there on the desk?
How are you doing?
You look fantastic. You look
man.
fantastic. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be fun. We had all the best goals plays from the split. I had to go through and comb through all these plays. I didn't have any help. I had a lot of help. Let's get into it, naughty man. Let's get it going.
Goodness.
Here we go. Top 10 plays of the split. Let's kick it off. Number 10, Cammy. Are you kidding me? From the ceiling? How does this one get going? He's climbing the stairs on an elliptical. He goes up to the ceiling with this pinch. Is absolutely ridiculous. You know we had to give the OCE some love in this one. Top 10 already getting off on a hot start. CJ back there. Get out of here. Number 9, AG on the assist. The hyperextension. Juggling you, big tall man. Reynolds underneath. Gets out of the way. Does nothing as always. Here comes Magic Mirror. Right into the goal line. Love that assist. Sets it up perfectly. Shout out Optic Gaming, by the way. Getting all the way here with the first sweep from FaZe. FaZe, where you at? What happened? Look at that perfect setup. That's beautiful. Give me number 8 production. You're the best. Razebull. It's a bar down. Of course it is. The Razebull. El Toro, the bull. Caleb, I heard they wanted some uppies.
No more defense.
Hey, looks like they want some some uppies, but I don't think the defense is going to get there in time. Raise ball, well done. Vitality, talking about passes. Of course it's Zen. Of course it's Alpha. It's a connection for the agents. It's always been. It's just absolutely perfect from this duo. That was supposed to be a shot. I don't believe it. That's a pass, and that's number 7. Here comes LJ for number 6. This one's great as well. SSG making a powerful roster change, and LJ from the ceiling. He's up there. Are you kidding me? I mean, I'm up with you. I'm your parakeet. I'm literally on your shoulder. I'm up with you. I'm your parakeet. Get over there with the pass, and that is beautiful. But number 5, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. This is First Killer.
First Killer?
1, 2, Toodaloo. First Killer, the North American MVP 2 years running, according to one analyst at least. And look at him go. He might not be in Boston. We'll see you in Germany making plays like that.
What just happened? Okay, BDS, all right, we got a pinch coming up right. Seiko, right? Yeah, where's that going? What's the defense doing? They're looking like the bird box out there. Nobody's paying attention. That is disgusting. That pinch is what it's all about. We love dropping the little hits and the quintessential touch from Radosin. From the sidewall, the reset, opposite post. Are you kidding? Vitality showed up to play in these regionals, and they show up with Radosin playing some of the best Rocket League he's ever played in his life. You got to do it when you know that you have a teammates in Zen and Alpha 54. And here we go. The goal that made Jorby disappear into the nether realm. It was 3 touches. There it goes. Monty, the solo. 1, 2, 3. Reset. Juggling. Get up there, big boy. Get up there and get it.
The double
2.
dunk? How's his number
3.
2?
Oh, my goodness. I did a good job. All right, number 1. Of course, it's Zen. The clip that broke the internet. The young one that's breaking the minds. He's a very massive 3D polygonal son. And he's up there downfield getting all these touches. Stays up, uses the boost, and keeps himself alive on this one. I don't know what else could beat that. Nothing else in this entire regional could beat it. There's literally not a play that's better.
Number
it's
6.
So good. Zen is untouchable, and that means that the top 10 is coming to a close. That is all the 10 plays from all of the splits. We had to go through the Boston Major. We had to get it all ready to go, and you know that we had the best to bring. That's what Vitality are doing. Bring it closer. We have more to come this weekend, but don't worry. When the top 10s eventually stop rolling, make sure nobody's behind me. It just means that the top 10s are going to keep coming and going, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Go back to the desk. I've had enough.
Sean, always a fan of your work, sir. Very appreciate what you do for us out here. Man, that is the audacity, the disrespect of the Zen goal. I think it gives it an X factor.
Disrespect. There's no disrespect. It's a beautiful goal.
In the air, like burning
He's
boots.
so
Like
good. He doesn't miss. He pre-jumps.
Yeah.
That's all it is. When he misses a challenge, he's like, nah.
Five people in one play. Double reset. Double dunk in your net.
It's true.
Both plays fantastic.
All plays were great, though. Missed a couple of atomic goals, of course, but it's all good.
What about Amphis, too? I saw no Amphis goals.
Oh, yeah, FC. Yeah,
We didn't. It's hard to get the entire region out. Right, folks? All right. We got to run you guys quickly through how everything is going to work here. If you've ever been confused by a format when watching one of these big events, we made it simple. It's just a bracket. Don't lose twice. If you lose twice, you're out. Double elimination. If you lose in the top, you drop to the bottom. Gibbs, it's all very simple.
You want to stay in the upper bracket, not only because you have 2 lives, but you play a lot less matches as well. As long as you win, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're done. If you go to the lower bracket, you got to win 7 in a row, I believe, to win it.
All right, folks. So we've got upper round 1 here, and then upper quarterfinals. That's what we're playing today. That's 12 matches, and you might be like, that's going to be a really long day. And it kind of is, but we're going to make it half as long because we have 2 broadcasts happening at the same time. So twitch.tv/RLesports is our B stream. You can go check out these matches, this schedule of matches. We'll have the upper bracket quarterfinals, 2 of them, happening on that match at the end, or that stream at the end of the day. We're going to see teams like Optic playing up against Ninjas. But also, if you're a Blue Wall fan, you're wondering, when do they play? Hey, they're playing like right off the bat, just not here. Twitch.tv/RLesports is the B stream. We have our own incredible, unbelievable schedule. I still cannot believe these are day 1 matchups. Moist is going to play Furia. We'll see Liquid take on Complexity. BDS will play Genji Mobile 1 Racing, and we're going to kick off the day with Crew versus Rule 1. I mean, what match is the most hype here?
Like, I feel like the first 3 are all coin flips, and then Moist Furia, we already know, like, underdogs, right? That's going to happen. Moist is a big underdog. Furia was last time at the World Championship. History might be made again.
The history.
The most legiondary matchup of the last World Championship there, Moist versus Furia. We'll get to see that one happen again here, folks. But this is not the only thing that they're playing for here in Boston. They're playing for the $100,000, the 48 Worlds points. points, but they're also playing for more spots for their region. For so many of the teams, especially the smaller regions, this is almost more important to them.
So World Championship, we have 24 teams that go. The wild card is set. 3 teams from North America, 3 from Europe, 2 from every other region. But the top 8 from these World's points will get extra spots to the World Championships. That's why it's so incredibly important. The main race that we are watching is the NA 4 spot in 8. We have a lot of competition going on between EU4, OCE, Nina, maybe even a SAM 2, like if they make a run. So look out throughout the weekend. We will explain after every match who has clinched, who has not, so you don't have to worry about that. But for right now, we have NA 4 in the spot.
Right, so just to be clear, the left side of this whole sheet here is the
good.
teams who are going.
Yes.
The right side of the teams that are not. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we're pretty set on NA4 taking that spot.
Oh.
So I don't think we have to worry about that.
All right,
I don't think we have to worry about that one.
We've heard a lot of first touch, all right? We've heard a lot of first touch over these
Well,
past
I do
few
talk every week,
months.
every Wednesday at 1 p.m.
I know, and it's an hour and a half of talking, and I've heard a lot of bad takes. A lot of bad takes. So I want to challenge you to a prediction contest. Normally, it's the entire desk. But I'm going to single you out, and I think I can take you down because, like, if we go back in history, World Championship before the main event, Wave, who did I pick?
You picked BDS.
I picked BDS. I got that right.
This is
At
what he does.
Rotterdam, I won by like 5 games over the entire desk. So now I'm going to single you out and challenge you.
Don't rise.
Do you?
He's not worth it, Bates. He's not worth it. You can't beat him.
You don't have to do it.
Can't beat him. Listen, what's your hashtag? Dibs is guessing. What's mine? Base number wrong, baby. Of course I'll take
With
you
a
down.
little asterisk.
Of course I'll take you down. Gibbs versus Bates. Oh, we can right here, right now.
Why do it?
I'm not concerned because I just feel a different energy here at this major.
Of
It's different
course
in
you
San
do, because
Diego.
NA's
It's
underdog.
different in Rotterdam. I'll tell you, it's giving a LA vibe. That's all I got to say.
Folks, we know that this is all you really care about, so we're going to keep a track of these two competing against each other over the course of the day, over the course of the next 4 days. It's going to be great. They're going to be trying to topple each other here, see who could take over this desk. But the players have been trying to plan how they are going to be taking over Boston.
Takeover means to be number 1, just being able to beat everyone.
The term takeover, pretty simple in my opinion. Take over the world, win everything. That's the plan.
Le dessus pour moi c'est avoir un but d'avance au moins et de faire le break. الهيمنة بالنسبة لنا تعتبر إثبات نفس وفرض شخصية.
That feeling, it's really the reason why I keep competing. Popping off, I'm going crazy, I'm taking over. The game is mine. I'm Michael Jordan, you feel me?
Taking over in this major would mean finals or winning. So yeah, I think that's what takeover means to us.
We have all the potential to take over this major.
The other OC teams had us online, but we're taking over the land.
Et si on se sent en confiance, là forcément on va prendre le contrôle du major.
Having the feeling of giving up is something that every player will go through at some stage. It's extremely important to understand that you have a chance to win. If you don't believe it, then you won't.
Es la mentalidad de nunca conformarse y no estar bastante cómodo para que te pasen por arriba.
Non, ça m'arrive jamais d'abandonner, il faut jamais rien lâcher. Je vais pas abandonner, je vais tout donner jusqu'au bout.
من ناحية الاستسلام ايش هذا الاستسلام؟
I genuinely believe he doesn't know what giving up means. He was like,
that final line with the glance is absolute fire.
Yeah,
that
is brilliant. Now, I do got to say, 16 teams here all trying to take over. If you're just tuning in, this event is probably more favored towards Europe than it ever has been in the past with just how many teams are here. I actually want to poll chat on this, and we're going to talk about it here while they're debating it here. Is this Europe's tournament to win? Is Europe going to win the finals, or is anybody from anywhere else going to win it? Get your votes in chat. Hashtag EU or hashtag the world. If you're a fan of North America, if you're a fan of me, and if you're a fan of South America, OCE, you're going with the world here. Yes, no?
Well, speaking on first touch, their power rankings, the top 4, all European teams. I think that's the first time that has ever happened. It feels like it's Europe's tournament. I would say 75 to 80% likely that a European wins it.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying that the Spring Open was the highest quality of Rocket League there's ever been, in a regional, and that's sort of just standard for Europe at the moment. It's dominant, right? Objectively, there's a dominance here for Europe.
Dominant. That's all I've been hearing
crowd
about.
will change
That's
it,
all I've been hearing about.
You were part of that. You were part of that list with the top 4, right?
76%.
I did something on that list. I'm never gonna put out what it is. Listen, Alliance Arena, Argonaut Arena is gonna get really loud here. That's all I gotta say. North Americans are gonna be here to play.
The North Koreans should be here to
and
play.
the South Americans.
And hey,
Rule 1.
Zen's not been in this environment before. There's only one way for us to find out how good he is, and we're all very excited to find out how he plays here in the arena, folks, in front of the crowd. Now, we are 5 minutes and 30 seconds to kick off here, folks, and just to keep you guys aboard of what is about to happen. Again, this is the bracket we're going to play over the next 4 days. These are the matches we are going to play today. We're staying in the upper bracket. Nobody is getting eliminated. You lose a match, you drop to the lowers. If you win the match, you go to those upper quarterfinals, which we'll play at the end of the day. Again, 2 broadcasts. We're covering all these matches running simultaneously. I can already see Stumpy and CJ getting ready to cover that Carmine Corps Ground Zero match off to the side. So if you want to check out that game, make sure you go to twitch.tv/RLesports. You'll catch that match as well as all the other matches right here on your screen. But over here at twitch.tv/Rocket League and on YouTube, we're going to be covering this schedule. We'll finish off with some quarterfinals. We'll see Moist play Furia. Liquid will be taking on Complexity. BDS versus Genji. I'm so excited for that one. But to kick things off, the inauguration of Boston, it's number 1 of South America, the Crew, going up against number 1 from the Middle East of Rule 1. And boy, howdy, have they worked hard to get here.
It's a beautiful matchup. There's different play styles here. There's storylines all over the place. It's going to be fantastic, Wavepunk. It's close as well.
They took the world by storm in San Diego. It's the Crew.
Se eu vou ganhar isso aqui? Sim, vou ganhar isso aqui. Acho que a gente está se dedicando um pouco mais nas replays, nas screens e dando nosso máximo como sempre. Ter conseguido classificar para os últimos 2 Majors pelo menos é muito bom, né? E tentar buscar a Seed 1 da Sun agora pro Worlds. Vamos, Crew!
That San Diego debut we saw from this team. They'd played in events before, but I think that really was the event here, Cole, that brought them onto the map internationally. Everybody knew their name.
I mean, what we've seen from Crew is that they are more than capable of fighting back. They're the only team out of any of the regions, apart from Sub-Saharan Africa, that have completed a bracket reset and won it this split.
Yes.
And back then in San Diego, they went 0-6 in their first 2 series, and suddenly they beat G1 and then the reverse sweep against Team Secret.
And let's talk about that bracket reset real quick. That was for the number 1 seed in SAM coming into this tournament. Like, if they would have lost that versus Ninjas, they would have pretty much no hope to get that number 1 seed. Now they're controlled right now for number 1, and as long as they get a top 8, they will go to the main event directly through the World Championship.
And in Crew, they probably have the most South American S-style out of every other team. Furia, Complexity, they've been tainted a little bit by the way North Americans play. And Complexity even a little bit with the way CRF plays, that European style. This Crew squad, they bring the offense, they bring the firepower, they're not scared of anybody, and they're going to need to bring that offense because the boys on the other side of the stage right now, they mean business.
They look fierce over there. Trifino's giving us the thumbs up, though. They are ready. They are excited.
The wave's back.
Oh, they're back, folks, here. But on the... Oh, look at... Oh, this is... Oh, he's ready to go. Kiss in the ring.
Stuff.
Ready to go, folks. On the other side, though, they finally grounded the Falcons and have taken their spot as Mina's number 1. It's Rule 1.
نحن هنا متحمسين ومتشوقين في المشاركة في السبرينج ميجر.
راح نفوز بالميجر لأن واثقين بلعبنا وإمكانياتنا.
رغبتي بالفوز أكيد بتكون كبيرة بما أنه أول Rlcs LAN أنه ما حد يعرف لعبنا، هذه إيجابية لنا. شعار الفريق We are one.
You know, Bates, I feel like I don't hear this very often from teams at their first event. Usually they come to the first event, they're like, we're just happy to be here. We just want to just have a good performance. Rule 1 takes this and they say, this is our chance to win. We want to win our debut.
Yeah, they want to prove and go further and finish something that Falcons couldn't accomplish last spring major. And that young man, he just threw a thumbs up. He is arguably already one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the world. He has to prove it at the Rlcs LAN stage.
And then Rule 1, they want to send a third MENA team to the World Championship as well because they feel like that their entire region is just overlooked. So if they get a top 3 finish here, which is very likely, like if they make a run through this upper bracket, then they can send Twisted Minds along with them to that World Championship.
Yeah, they'll be watching, as will Team Secret from South America, hoping that their respective regions can win. But Rule 1, by MENA standards, a relatively defensive team, and not to brag, I played these guys in a 4v3 alongside Shogun and Stumpy and Johnny.
So
and I know it sounds silly, but you can detect how different they are to play even from that. You think you're going to get a flip reset against them, you think you're going to score against them, and it's like, no, that's what they wanted all along. Their control of the game is unlike anything I've come up against, even when I have been fortunate enough to come up against pro players. It's just unseen before.
Yeah, relatively defensive team, but Kaliers, you saw him, he was the last person on the screen. He brings that offensive firepower, averaging 1.08 goals per game. He is the offense to harass his defense. The Twins are synergizing every single time they're on the pitch. And woo, it really is poetry in motion, because now we get to determine who the best third region is. No more discussion. Sam Moy going up against me in a one-way.
Yeah,
you couldn't have drawn it up
and
any
they're
better.
both playing. You brought up Rule 1, trying to bring another team from the MENA region there. The same thing is true for Crew. Team Secret is 3 points short of being in the top 2 here. And then there's a massive gap to number 4. The top 3 teams from the South American regions all could easily compete at the World Championship. They want to make sure they get Secret there, and you know Secret's watching home, ready for it. How do you feel like it's going to happen? Home in chat, give us the votes. Hashtag Crew, hashtag R1. Cole, who do we think is going to win?
I'll go quick, because I know these guys have got their battle. It's basically the unpredictability of Crew versus Rule 1's control. I'll go control for this one. I think that playstyle will be more replicable, if that's the word, in a LAN setting, and I think they'll be all right.
So this is Rule 1 for you?
I'll go Rule 1,
I'm going to go Rule 1 on this one as well.
The disrespect of South America. We saw the first touch power rankings. 10 teams were listed. Rule 1 was number 10. Where's the South American team? Every single major South American team shows up and finishes top 8. I believe Crew makes a statement here.
Gibbs is guessing. Give me Rule 1. Give me MENA. You saw the FT top 10. I'm rolling with the boys from MENA. They get a W right here.
Crew
they beat G1. They beat
the disrespect.
Gimmick Rocket League organization. Give me Rule 1, baby.
I think Crew is thriving on the underdog energy here, and they are chomping at the bit to get into game, folks. We are ready to kick off the Boston Major, number 1 of South America, going up against number 1 of Middle East. To start things off, you couldn't ask for a crazier bracket. It's going to be great games all the way down. Get up and get loud, everybody. It's game day.
And here we go. Welcome, everybody, to the Spring Major. And Johnny, what a way for us to get it kicked off. Rule 1, Crew Esports. One of these teams is going to the lower bracket.
Yeah, we don't really get a lot of time to warm up to the occasion, do we? We're just getting straight away. A banger on screen for you guys. Crew, definitely an underrated team. I think Gibbs is spot on with that. They've got results. They're the number 1 team in SAM. They've got the best player in SAM right now, in Drafinho, on their roster. And this is, I think, a great draw for them. I think a great draw for both teams, honestly. Because Rule 1 will love playing against Crew stylistically. Rule 1 are also in their first RLCS international match. Can Crew capitalize? Will Rule 1 be nervous for the occasion?
Rule 1 have, as the Des mentioned, had to claw their way into this particular spot. There's been so many occasions where they would start off a split incredibly well. They'd win that regional, and then it would go wrong during the cup, during the invitational. They would drop the spots to the Falcons. There were worries about that in this split as well, but they did manage to get through. Have they now broken that mental gap that they had when it comes to those big occasions? We are going to find out. If we know anything about South American teams, they don't wait for you to get involved in the game. They are happy to take it to you.
Yeah, this is a Crew roster who have finished the last major with good results. Yes, they started poorly, but that finished with good results. Except, of course, that last match that they played. You know, they were on a good streak there, and I think they can take that momentum into the Spring Major. They've gained some experience there. Early on, it's Rule 1 who are really tempting Crew to overextend. They're looking to make those solo plays with the air dribbles. Binho, unable to get the ball there past Mawson. Mawson unable to get it past Brad, but Crew are not overextending here. This could be the first big chance for West off the backboard, easily defended by Drafinho.
Fantastic over Drafinho. Go off the backboard. That's actually a little bit awkward now. But Ruan didn't want to overcommit to it. Just easing their way into this major. Don't forget either. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Brad's actually now got options for him. In they go, and Boston had to be very alert. They're in time, but there's the warning shot. Rule 1 needs to pick up the pace.
Yeah, that was Mawson saving both of the twins there. West missed his takeoff. It was Kaliers who misread the ball as well. I don't think he was ready for his twin brother to make that defensive width. Austin was there to cover it for now, but still, Rule 1 looking a bit shaky. West with a low boost. It's a decent 50-50 on it. Mustang intentionally keeping the ball in the back corner, but Career there. They're starting to swarm. Rule 1 need to do well with the boost management here, and that's well played by Clears. That'll buy them much needed time.
Oh, and then they go cross goal.
Whoa!
Not far off. Up to Brad to try and get rid of it. Takes his time, doesn't find the passing option. Such a scary style that Rule 1 like to play. Mentioned about the defense, but I'm sure co-owners in Civic and Sunless can't back home wish that maybe they didn't spend as much time in their back third.
Oh!
That was so close, and now the opposite side field drops off the side. He gave himself too much work to do, and we stay at 0-0.
Well, you know, if there's one thing Rule 1 do like to do, it's attack that near post early. You can look for their second man to be very quickly into position whenever the ball centers. The crew will need to cover the center ball every time. Rule 1 do not sit back on it. They attack very, very quickly in those positions. Even though when they're in defense, they like to get behind the ball. So it's a bit of both. Our unique style, defensive when the other team have the ball, very, very aggressive when they've got it. Right now it's Crew on the ball. Jorfinho almost able to get past Mostyn. Mostyn actually gets a very nice touch into the middle. Both teams doing well to keep the ball in the back corners.
But when you are a unique style, that really shines through when you're in the best of fives.
Oh, wow.
Very little time to try and react to it. Plenty of time to react to that ball off the backboard, though. Killiers gonna go by himself. Almost found the top corner. In comes Rawas. Realised he couldn't take it earlier, otherwise he was gonna get countered. We have come so close, and we still don't have our first goal.
Oh, that's a brilliant effort by Killiers. Definitely the best chance of the game so far. Crew were simply